Good afternoon. I would like to call our March meeting to order. Dr. Hosey, would you lead us in the pledge to the flag?
Yes, sir.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dr. Head, has the meeting notice been posted according to statutes?
Yes, I certify the meeting was posted in accordance with the law.
Thank you. Do we have any introductions or special recognitions? What do you think?
I don't.
This meeting, I think. Rookie.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I saw you pointing. I wasn't sure you were pointing. Dr. Keshvala is going to introduce her new vice president.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
I have to take all these allergy shots.
Good evening, Chair Smith, Chancellor Head, members of the board. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our new Vice President, Mr. Theodore Louie. He is actually overseeing finance and administrative services at Lone Star College Sci-Fair. And Ted, as he likes to be called, has a Bachelor of Applied Science and Engineering degree from the University of Toronto. He also has a Master of Business Administration degree from McMaster University, located in Ontario, Canada. And Ted has over 15 years of experience, senior level experience managing finance and administrative services. His previous employment includes being a partner and a consultant with L3 Partners. He's also worked as a vice president of finance at Texas Medical Center, and also was a vice president of finance and administrative services at Texas America Choice Health Plans. So he's very excited, right, Ted, about moving over to, we didn't practice this, but he is very excited about making the transition over to higher education. And in his spare time, when he is not working, which is not very frequent, he does serve on the board of trustees for the Asia Society for Texas Center, and he also is a youth ministry deacon at his church. And Ted and his wife Susan are the proud parents of 2 children. Janine is 21 and Kurt is 17. So please join me in welcoming Ted to our Lone Star College team.
I'm very delighted to be here. I've really enjoyed working with the people the last 2 weeks with everybody over at Sci-Fair, as well as the system people that I've met. Thanks.
Great. Well, on behalf of the board, we're so glad to have you. And as you will find out later, Lone Star is an awesome place to work.
Yes, it is.
And welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chancellor, Mr. Chairman, trustees, I'd like to introduce you to our newest member of the Marketing Communications Team, External Affairs, is Ms. Jessica Holloway. Jessica is joining us as the Senior Communications Officer in our department. Brings an extensive background as a graduate from Texas A&M. She has worked in Mexico City, so is bilingual, speaks Spanish. She has been a TV reporter, so she can edit video, shoot video, write scripts, piece it together. It was interesting watching her talk with some of our team today about as they were editing through some video. I was also most recently, she has spent time as the chief of staff for the Harris County Tax Assessor Collector, Mr. Mike Sullivan, prior to joining us. So has an extensive experience in writing press releases, in working and creating stories and creating narratives. And we've really brought Jessica on board to help us with working through how do we better tell our internal story, our internal narrative, working through that, making sure that we're out doing those things. So very excited to have Jessica join us. Jessica is married, has 2 kids, Indy and Ian, and is married to her husband, Scott.
Thank you, guys. It's good to see you, board and presidents and vice chancellors. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it. My family asked me yesterday, how was your first day on the job? And I text them, I love it. And it's the first time that I could say that in a long time about a job. I felt like work before, but this is going to be a great experience. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and Ms. Holloway, again, welcome aboard, and we're glad to have you. And I know you're ready to go to work and hit the ground running.
Thank you, sir.
Can you say something in Spanish?
Gracias a ustedes para ser aquí. Thank you.
Yo no comprendo.
Ran, you and Beth want to come up, and we have an overview of this is our annual grants update for a workshop. and make sure they know who Beth is? Okay.
Absolutely. Chair Smith, and trustees, and Chancellor, Beth Thompson and I are very glad to be here tonight to give you another annual update on Resource Development Administration, better known as the Grants Department. Beth Thompson is the Executive Director of RDA, and she's been with Lone Star since 2014. But before she starts, I did want to we want to say a personal thank you to the board. Back in October of last year and February of this year, you actually voted in favor of a couple of revisions to two policies. One of those policies helped us to respond faster and more efficiently to our funders, and the second one helped us to be more effective in our post-award compliance. And so you might not have realized that, but those two things that you did for us helped us very much in our day-to-day operations. So I'm going to turn it over to Beth, and she's going to make a presentation.
Sound check. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Chair Smith, Chancellor Head, members of the board, I thank you for giving us the opportunity and for your interest in learning about grants at Lone Star College. Here we go. Okay. As I am the Executive Director of Resource Development and Administration, better known as Grants. The department has two directors. Cindy Drummond is a Director, Grant Development. I believe she's here tonight. Cindy, want to stand?
Wave your hand.
Go ahead and stand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She works with a staff of 5 grant writers who are assigned to specific colleges and system office departments to develop and submit grant proposals to local, state, and federal funders. Our Pamela Wyatt is Director, Management and Administration, and this is our compliance arm. We've got representing Pamela tonight is Elisa McClendon, one of our analysts. Lisa, would you rise? Pamela works with a staff of 2 analysts to ensure that awarded grants remain in compliance and that Lone Star continues to be eligible for future funding by each and every one of our funders. Compliance also coordinates with grants accounting. Okay, here are a few statistics that may be of interest to you. In fiscal year 2016, we had 85 active grants at Lone Star College, throughout Lone Star College. That is up from 32 active grants in 2013, and with no additions to RDA staff. Those 85 grants were worth a dollar amount of $32.5 million. And an additional statistic, 57% of our submitted proposals were awarded in 2016. Okay. We have a diverse group of funders that includes federal, state, foundation, and other sources. For 2 years running, our top 3 funders were the U.S. Department of Education, Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, and Texas Workforce Commission. And speaking of TWC, we received word just yesterday that our proposal for $359,996 was for building construction trades training demonstration project will be going to the contract phase. So that's awarded. And the project will fund tuition for ironworking, for electrical technology students, and for HVAC and refrigeration students at Lone Star College North Harris. That particular project was a joint effort of Workforce Education and Lone Star College North Harris. So congratulations to them. Okay. 2014, the year 2014 on this graph is significant to me because that is the year I joined Lone Star College. Good move on my part. The dollars awarded to or in management by Lone Star College have increased 61% since 2013, and again, no increase in staff as a result of that. proposal submissions. In order to receive money, you have to ask for it. And the way we ask for that is through proposals to funders. And so Lone Star College submitted an average of 54 grant applications in each of the last 3 years. And Lone Star has steadily increased the number of grants awarded over the past 3 years. And that is a result of continual improvements in the grant development process itself, training for staff, and an incredibly productive staff. This next slide is telling. We are truly better together. Grants do not happen in isolation. It takes a network of effort for it to come together. Colleges and sometimes in system office departments own and manage grants once they are awarded. RDA does not own the grant or manage it. It falls to the college after it's awarded. So the college participation in the development of grant proposals is essential. The Office of General Counsel reviews every official grant document from proposals to contracts to affidavits and more. They ensure that Lone Star College is committed to projects that are in our best interest and that there are no negative legal ramifications for any proposal that we might submit. The Chancellor personally approves submission of every grant and official grant document. I want you to know that we send approximately 200 very time-bound items across the Chancellor's desk each year, and he has never missed a funder deadline. Today was a perfect example. As busy as you all were today, he made time to sign an affidavit so that we could move forward with the contract that I just mentioned with TWC. While RDA ensures the compliance of federal funds, grants accounting supports the financial administration of grant projects. And we do appreciate the support from Associate Vice Chancellor Diane Novak and her team that they provide to us. All of these groups play an important role in grants for Lone Star College.
Beth, can you talk just for a second?
Yes, sir.
About how these grants kind of flow through?
Wow. How they flow from the beginning?
Well, how about from the time somebody has an idea to the time it gets on my desk? How's that?
All right, that works. That works. So the colleges, we get ideas out for grants for a variety of ways. Sometimes the colleges hear about ideas for opportunities for proposals. Sometimes we push them out. So once a college decides, hey, let's look into this, we'll do the initial research. Then it's up to the college to decide, do we or do we not want to devote staff time to developing this proposal idea? Because it's a resource issue. And so they approve that. We move to the development phase where we'll pull in air from data and multiple other departments, whoever's applicable to that grant. The proposal's developed. Once again, it is signed off on by the college. It routes through my office, through Rand Key's office, goes to legal for approval, and then it lands on the Chancellor's desk for signature.
Got it.
Is that what
Thank
you
you.
needed? You're welcome.
There's a lot of work that goes into making sure these grants are done correctly, and that if there's matching dollars, we do that, or we have the facilities, or that's something we really want to do. So the presidents, what I'm looking for is that somebody at the campus or one of the vice chancellors or presidents agree to it, and not just verbally in writing. And
No,
then
they have
make
to
sure-
sign on
make sure you
multiple
guys checked
occasions.
it, and make sure legal checks it, and make sure the finance office has reviewed it.
I just wanted to point out that in front of you have a folder, and in it is one small document. It actually has a circle graph, and it's a good explanation of how a grant begins and flows through the process.
Thank you. All right. This slide demonstrates some of the tasks assigned to compliance. The award of a grant kicks off a series of responsibilities for Lone Star as the grantee. Compliance is responsible for post-award maintenance of grants, contract execution, post-award agreements, preparation and routing, formal application for amendments, and internal checks to ensure that grant programs adhere to grant responsibilities. And I can say that holding people accountable is difficult, and I think our compliance area does a very nice job with that. It's in the best interest of Lone Star to be sure that we're on point with all of our awarded grants. Okay. RDA also administers the Institutional Review Board for Lone Star College. The IRB is a safeguard to promote the ethical and responsible treatment of human subjects in research. The IRB chair is Professor Brian Schmajewski of Kingwood. And the honors, you'll see an uptick beginning in 2014 in activity. And that was the year the system-wide Honors College was launched. And it does contain a research component. And so you can see a corresponding increase in IRB activity from that point forward.
So for the board, if anybody wants to do any research and reach out to our students or our employees, it has to be approved by this board. We make sure that anybody that's dealing with that group is approved and we know what they're doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Lone Star College will hold its second annual Grant Summit on April the 21st. All available spots were filled last year, so we found a way to increase capacity, and we are expanding the offering this year and welcome you to join us. May I answer any questions for you?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
I want to commend you on the increase in grants that you have achieved from 2014 to 2016. But I want to warn you that next year we want to see the same increase. So those are the kinds of people that we are. So
Trustee Lloyd, can you have that conversation with the president, like the president of the United States, for me? It'd be awesome. Yeah. Thank you. We'll do our best.
Yeah. Yeah. I will also say, the other thing you mentioned, that 57% of our grants are approved. To me, that sounds like a good number. Is that, if you look at it competitively, how do other organizations that seek grants, what's their success ratio?
Well, it's not often published. People don't like to talk about it because some of the grant resources in professional organizations talk about a 17 to 20% success rate as being common.
Well, that's impressive. And my famous saying is, to everybody that's doing good work, maintain the momentum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the support.
Thanks, Beth.
That's good.
That's it. Good. The Board of Trustees, in accordance with Section 551.001 of the Texas Government Code, will move into closed session under one or more of the following provisions of the Act. Section 551.071, consultation with attorney. Section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property. Section 551.074, personnel matters. And finally, Section 551.076, deliberation regarding security devices.
6:18.